Welcome back to another episode of the Phoenix Truth Rising Show. This is Spaceman 2.0. I'm here to help you grow with the new knowledge and the truth that will set you free. So with that being said, I'm going to read some more from Here to Armageddon. And the pages I'm going to go over are, the first one is evacuation, talking about what will happen if there's certain cataclysms on the planet. The next is all children will be lifted. This is talking about the children will be lifted first, so we can put our mind at ease. He who hesitates is remain calm, do not panic. No warning. We'll try to move on to administration then. And Earth-based ground units. And if we still have time, we're going to continue on with evil. And the following page. Then we're going to end up on this page, as well as the last page for Chapter 5. So we're on Chapter 5 of From Here to Armageddon. So we're starting off with Chapter 5. This is actually recorded in 1989, September 4th, and we're going to resume with Ashtar talking about evacuation. I see no point in the changing perfection or rewriting that which is still accurate. However, since this equipment is not compatible with that upon which we first wrote this message of evacuation, I shall share it with you again. I will distract myself, Dharma, and allow you to pick it up from my monitors. We have millions of ships stationed in the skies above your planet, ready to instantly lift you off as the first warning. At the first warning of your planet's beginning to tilt on its axis. When this occurs, we have only a very short time segment in which we can lift you from the surface before great tidal waves will lash your coastlines. These waves can be as deep as 5 miles or more. They will subsequently cover much of your land masses. Your melting polar ice caps are contributing greatly to the unequal balance of the orb itself. Along with these changes, there will be great earthquakes, which will feed from one suture line, fault line, to the next to cause severe shifting of entire tectonic plates. As these splits and grindings occur, you will have massive volcanic eruptions, ever widespread areas of previously dormant cones. In portions near your nuclear testing grounds, you will experience probably spillage of radioactive material into your atmosphere. You will also experience radiation leakage from your nuclear power plants as they are disrupted by land changes. Portions of your continents will split and sink, and in other areas, this will cause thrusting upward of other masses. You have had plenty of news about winds, etc., that will accompany these upheavals. There will be upheavals and earthquakes, for instance, that will not trigger evacuation, so I will speak of cataclysmic proportions. We are very experienced in the evacuation of populations of planets. It would be grand if this were not necessary to be true, but alas, it is not even all that uncommon for many various reasons. We will stick to yours and what you might expect. We expect and are practiced and prepared to complete the evacuation of Earth of the souls of light in some 15 minutes, regardless of numbers. Further, we will rescue the souls of light first. Not a bad idea to get on that light list. Our computers are massive and self-updating. Each entity is entered into the system, and all changes to the minute details are constantly updated. The computers are locked on to the coordinates as designated by your grid ley lines and vortex intersections. At the first indication that there may be need to evacuate, the computers lock on to the location of every energy entity instantly, no matter where might be the location of the human form. Don't concern yourself with that portion. Just make sure you keep the signals attuned on an ongoing basis. All children will be lifted. After the souls of light have been evacuated, then the children will all be lifted off. The children are considered to be non-accountable, so they will be evacuated to special ships to be cared for until they can be reunited with their parents or placed for indefinite care and tending. We have ones well trained for the specific task of handling the children and their trauma. Many may be put into sleep for a period of time to help them overcome their fear and anxiety. Our computer system is far, far beyond anything ever used thus far on Earth in this age. and can locate parents of specific children wherever they may be and notify one another of safety or status. The children will be lifted to safety during the evacuation, so do not give undue thought to them. Do not seek to unite before liftoff. Tend yourself and be well, and we will tend the confusion. After the evacuation of the children, the invitation will be extended to all remaining souls on the planet to join us. However, this will be for only a very, very short time period, perhaps another 15 minutes or so. There is abundant space for all ones, but because of the atmosphere, by that elapsed amount of time will be filled with fire, flying debris, poisonous smoke, and because the magnetic field of your planet will be disturbed, we will have to leave your atmosphere very quickly, or we also with our craft would perish. He who hesitates is. Therefore, he who steps into our levitation beams first will be lifted first, and hesitation on your part would mean the end of your third dimensional existence you call the physical body. This brings us to the most serious and difficult part of the evacuation, as mentioned earlier. Souls of light have a higher vibration frequency than do those who are more closely tied to the earth and earth concepts and actions. Well, since our levitation beams, which will be lifting you off the surface of the planet, are very close to the same thing as your electrical charges as you recognize them, those of low vibrational frequency may not be able to withstand the high frequency of the levitation beams without departing the third dimensional body. We will get as close as possible so the beam time span is lessened, but it must still be from quite a high altitude. When a beam ship lands in normal times to invite ones aboard, it is customary to land the craft or hover quite close to your surface. Then our own ones will accompany any entity aboard. It will not be thusly done at evacuation liftoff. If the soul energy departs the third dimensional body, there may be opportunity for resuscitation and reconnection of the soul, or the soul will be released to be housed in appropriate facilities according to agreement with God. At any rate, you would not be left to experience the havoc on your planet's surface. If you do not decide to step into the levitation beams to be lifted up, you might be one of the few who survive the cleansing and changes. However, during this period of cleansing, there will be great changes in climate, in land masses, for the poles of the planet will have a new orientation. This alone will create untold hardship for the survivors. In some areas, a specific location, it may be possible to have guides and assistants return, or in some instances remain as a support system. So remain calm, do not panic. Let me make it very clear as to that which is most detrimental to your successful liftoff. A child we can render unconscious and simply attune the harmonic system. An adult of consenting age must make a choice. Any response of fear lowers your frequency or of vibration, thus making you less compatible with the levitation beam frequencies. Therefore, above all else, remain calm. If you cannot get into the beam for any reason, remain calm. We can move the beam. Do not panic. Know that you are in expert hands, hands which have extensive experience in evacuation of planets. We know of that which we are about. I cannot overemphasize this. Remain calm, relax. Do not panic when you step into our levitation beam or it is focused on you. Do not wave or thrust your body about. The connection is made at energy level, and motion of the physical body is a great distraction. After liftoff, you will be taxied by the shuttle liftoff craft to our motherships, which are anchored even higher above the planet. There, you will be taken care of, depending upon your circumstances. Some of you will need medical care. Others will be quite wonderful, but hyper-excited and agitated. Some will be frantic over family members, etc. We have expert medical staff who will be there to treat you with highly advanced equipment. Some will simply be placed into a state of sleep until vital signs regain normal status. You will be fed and housed until such time as transfer elsewhere is advisable. Some of you will be taken to cities on other planets to be trained in advanced technology before being returned to the planet Earth to start rebuilding. This will all be determined by counseling or prearrangement. Children will be reunited with parents and families, etc. Your wondrously beautiful planet is destined to be a most beautiful star within the universe. For long she has waited to take her place of glory. She shall be a beauteous planet of light. Here you can rejoin the remainder of the universe in brotherly love and fellowship with the lighted brotherhood of man, with God and Creator, with God the Creator. Do not scoff at these words, people of earth. We are sent forth and come willingly, and in love of you as our brothers in a great time of distress. As surely as the sun shines from the east to the west, so shall these things shortly come to pass. Let us be prepared, please. No warning. The cataclysms will begin abruptly without warning. Everything will happen so fast they will not have any time to think. Think carefully on these things now in effort to come into balance before it grows too late for choice. There will be ones running about in total confusion and pain, injured. It will be as if the whole of the universe is falling in upon you. Much of what you perceive as your universe will be so doing. I assure you. So what will you do? Ideally, you will plan now. You will then remain totally calm and without fear and await the light beams. Then step into the levitation beams or remain stationary that we might affix onto you. The beams flow from the underneath center of the craft, and frankly, it can be much like a huge suction cleaner whereby all happens very quickly. I suggest you do whatever you can to allow us to come into your sectors without hostility. It appears all probabilities of avoiding this untoward event are past. We see no changes in magnitude of perceptions of such proportions that would alter the course of events. So be it. We will continue to work diligently with that which we are given. Administration. Let us speak a bit of the administering of this program. As commander for the solar system and its various volunteer units, from many areas of space, it is my responsibility to coordinate efforts of the many fleets as they touch into the mission of Sean. When these various factions of force are not thus involved, then of course they are self-regulatory and guided under their own supervision. They only come under the jurisdiction of the Interplanetary Confederation if they are here on a specific assignment correlated to the overall hierarchy mission to the planet. Overall hierarchical mission to the planet. Let me assure you that I understand the doubts regarding credibility, that is, superb success of our dark fragments causing ridicule and outrageous press. I really realize there are ones out there claiming to be goddesses and rainbow-caped freaks of mammoth personality and ego breakdown. It is for you to look beyond and into truth. It is why you of our co-workers must not be other than professional and credible. Continue as you are, except clean up your attitudes. You will get nowhere by just being. No one of our busy workers needs another iota of responsibility. Tend of yourselves. So, I'm going to continue on from there with the next part. This is part 9. Thank you for watching. Spaceman 2.0, Phoenix Truth Rising show. From Here to Armageddon, part 9 with chapter 5. We're just getting through chapter 5. We'll have to do another part for the rest of it. Have a great day. This is Spaceman 2.0, and I'm out.